Hello, friends. Welcome to episode number 12 of the Kpop Weekly Podcast with Emily Mallon. I'm your host. Great to be back. It's great to be here in this busy December season. I'm sure some of you are like me and are behind on holiday shopping and a little bit stressed out with all the year-end parties and social commitments. Let's take a break together tonight. Let's take a break together this weekend. Exhale and enjoy talking about the best of K-pop 2023. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Tonight is the night. It's the K-pop Weekly Awards. First annual. Very excited to bring you the award show. I'm going to give out awards for what I thought was the best of the best in K-pop this year. I will also be sharing with you my top 20 K-pop songs of 2023 and my top 5 K-pop albums. This was hard. It was actually really hard to make the list this year. I feel like every year when I do this, I always go back a day later and I wish that I would have switched out a song or an album. It's hard. There's a lot of great content, but I'm pretty happy with my list. I'm very happy with my award show. The year is coming to an end. 2 more episodes left, and then I will be off the last week of December. So everyone enjoy that week. Next week, I'm bringing to you the best of what I missed. There's so many worthy, amazing K-pop groups, solo artists that sometimes I don't have time to review on the show that I really want to talk about. So I'm going to bring you the best groups, the best releases, stuff that I think is really worthy for maybe some K-pop acts that don't get enough press. That's what I'm here to do. I'm here to help them out and to turn you guys on to new music, to new groups that you may not have heard of or may not have given a chance to. That's next week. And then I'm back in January. I will be back, new year, exciting stuff on the horizon for Kpop Weekly Podcast. And that's when we're going to have Fandom Face Off with our H&E and our Engine. Really hard to schedule everyone in December or on the holidays. There's a lot happening. In January, Fandom Face Off is coming back. Don't worry. We've got it set and it's going to be amazing. But now, without further ado, it's time for the 2023 K-Pop Weekly Awards. I will be the sole presenter of the awards and probably accepting on behalf of most of our artists tonight. They couldn't fly to LA in time for the ceremony. I know. Apologies. It's my fault. I didn't get the invites out quick enough. Unfortunately, a lot of them had to decide between the Asian Artist Awards in the Philippines or this week. And, stuff happens. Maybe next year, everyone will be here to accept their award. Let's get to it. The first award, It Boy of the Year. This is the guy that commands attention, that's a superstar, that everyone models their hair after, their fashion. They try to be like him. They want a career like him. This will come as no surprise to most of you. My It Boy of the Year is Hyunjin from Stray Kids. Hyunjin from Stray Kids is everything in K-pop. He's influenced this younger generation and he's caught the eye of all of us. So congratulations to him. He's got major brand deals. He's a superstar. It Girl of the Year. This one's a little harder, but 2023 It Girl of the Year. It's Jennie Kim from Blackpink. Wonyoung almost got it. Wonyoung from IVE, she's been killing it. But Jennie is that girl. When you think of a K-pop idol, looks, attitude, fame, it's Jennie. I mean, besides what Blackpink did this year, which was phenomenal, and Jennie is like the it girl for advertisements and brand deals. She also made her acting debut here in the States on The Idol, which was on HBO. That was the show at the weekend. It wasn't my favorite. I think maybe if it would have been a farce, it would have worked. It wasn't. It was supposed to be serious. Jennie did great, you guys. Jennie did very well. She's had an amazing, amazing year. Jenny's It Girl 2023. Let's move on. We've got to talk about the music. It's time to really get into the music, why I'm here, why we're all here, and why K-pop to me is fascinating. So many great albums, songs, choreography, performances. Let's hand out some awards. The K-pop Weekly Podcast 2023 award for variety / late night television performance of the year. Jungkook standing next to you on Jimmy Fallon. That performance to me, it was perfect. It was the debut performance of the song. The choreography was so cool. Jungkook and the dancers killed it. And it was just kind of showing I'm the superstar. I'm here and I'm a freaking superstar. It was such a introduction of him as a solo artist to the American crowd, to the worldwide crowd in a way that we hadn't seen yet with 3D and with Seven. It was very powerful. He killed it. So, so memorable. Congratulations to Jungkook. Collaboration of the year. This was a hard one. There were a lot of really great collabs in K-pop this year, but I think the one that was most impactful and that I was most impressed by, Snooze from August D, featuring Ryuichi Sakamoto and Woo-sung from The Roads. That song, it's so beautiful. It's heavy. It's emotional. Woo-sung's vocals kind of drive home the emotion in that chorus. It's such a powerful song and it was so well executed. That's my collaboration of the year, but I've got to give a strong shout out to All My Life, Stray Kids, Little Dirk. That was very meaningful for me personally. I thought it was the perfect collab for them. That almost got it, but Snooze is the winner this year. Okay, my subunit of the year. This was actually pretty easy for me. This is a unit that I'm not sure the label thought was going to make as much noise as it did, but it was perfectly executed. I'm talking about Do Jae Jung, three men from NCT, Doyoung, Jaehyun, and Jungwoo. That Perfume song, really the whole release was stellar. I think they killed it. They were so, 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 so good. It was just nice to see those three members together. It was like NCT has so many weapons. I loved this subunit and I'm so proud of them. Next category, my male solo artist of the year. Another hard one. You had a lot of the BTS guys coming out with solid material. But my solo artist of the year is Taemin. Taemin came back from the military and he reminded us all why he is that guy. He killed it with Guilty. Talk about memorable performance and choreography. I'm so happy Taemin's back. And I was lucky enough to see him at KCON 2023 here in LA. He's a force, and he's my male solo artist of the year. Female solo artist of the year. This one goes to the leader of Twice, Jihyo. Her solo album was good, but I think she doesn't get enough credit for the B-sides on that solo album. The B-sides on her album, I liked way more than the single. I wasn't here to review it. It was while I was taking a break in between podcasts. But the B-side of that album is phenomenal. Jihyo is that girl. She's always been that girl. And I think her solo release showed people who maybe weren't familiar with what she could do vocally, who she is as a vocalist. She's my favorite voice in Twice. She always has been. And I'm happy she got the time to shine. Let's talk about these rookies. We had some strong rookie groups this year. I'm going to be honest and say it. I think the boys were better than the girls this year. In recent years, the girls have come out killing it, really strong contenders for Rookie of the Year. But this year, there's a lot of great male groups. My Rookie of the Year 2023 K-Pop Weekly Podcast, it's Rise. I'm very excited about ZB1, Zero Base One. I love what they've put out. But if I was to put together a boy group, Rise is the most similar to the look and sound and vibe that I vibe with. They're exciting. I really, really like them. I hope that they can move forward and kill it and be super successful, whether that's 6 or 7. We'll see what happens with the lineup. But I love those guys and I'm cheering for them. I'm rooting for them. They're my rookie of the year. My girl rookie of the year. This was a little bit harder for me. This was hard, but I've got to give it to Else Up. Else Up's great, and I like their entire catalog a little bit more than some of the other groups. I was very close to Kiss of Life. I vibe with what they're doing, but I'm giving it to Else Up, female rookie group of the year. Choreography, male group. This one was difficult. There's a lot of really cool choreography. There were some songs that lent themselves to powerful K-pop choreography that we all love and that we're all used to. But when I think about exciting choreography that I literally say, "Oh wow, that's really cool." It's NCT 127. It's NCT 127 fact check. I love the footwork in that one, the rhythm, the switch ups, the formations. That's amazing choreography. And to know that Taeyong put it together in a few minutes, congratulations. Like, I love that choreography. I like this song. That whole thing really worked for me. A lot of worthy contenders this year, but NCT 127 is my pick. For female choreography, look, I know everyone is giving this to Queen Card by Idol. It's very memorable, but this is my award show. I get to do what I want. And my favorite girl choreography this year, Teddy Bear by Stacy. It's fun. It's cute. It genuinely made me laugh. Like, I love that choreography so much. So, Stacy girls, you're my winners. 2023 K-Pop Weekly Podcast Awards. Best choreography girl group. Now let's talk about solo acts. Best choreography solo artist. For me, this was clear cut Rover from Kai. We all picture it, right? When I say that, you all know like the arm movement, the choreography. It was so iconic. Every idol was doing the dance challenge. It's something that only Kai can do, though. Kai owns that. And I loved it. And it was memorable. People are still doing that dance. It will live forever in K-pop lore. Rover from Kai. Okay, let's move on. It's time for tour of the year. My tour of the year. It's Blackpink Born Pink tour. Okay, those four women started this tour in October of 2022. It ended in September of 2023. It brought in $148 million. In between all of this, they headlined Coachella. They killed it. Blackpink worked their butts off last year and they killed it with that tour. That's the biggest K-pop tour. To me, it was the tour of the year. Congratulations to them. Amazing. And I love seeing these four powerful women on top. They were the number one K-pop tour. Well deserved. Okay. We're getting down to the point where there could be some controversy with my picks. Male group of the year. This will be no surprise to any of you. My male group of the year is Stray Kids. It's not even close. Two number one albums on the Billboard 200, huge brand deals, global popularity. This is the year that Stray Kids went from great K-pop group, exciting K-pop group to the top, to the kings of K-pop. People might argue there's one other group that was also massively successful this year and did very well. I think when you look at the body of work, the time that the groups have been active and the global numbers, the global charts, Stray Kids are ahead. Stray Kids are the top group. They're the best group. To me, they're the most exciting. They killed it this year. Not only did they have those two regular Korean albums that were amazing with Rockstar and Five Star, we all forget they put out a Japanese album that was really strong. The sound had some amazing songs on it. Stray Kids killed it. They deserve everything coming to them in 2024. It's going to be a big year, Stay. My female group of the year, it's La Seraphim. Listen, I love New Jeans. I love what they did. But again, when I look at the body of work and the impact, La Seraphim came out swinging this year. They really did. Their whole album, the whole Unforgiven album, everything that they've done, they're kind of cementing themselves and their identity in the world of K-pop with really loyal fans. And for me, most importantly, with a great catalog. They have a lot of different sounds and cool stuff musically in their catalog. They're executing very, very well. So I got to give it to La Seraphim. My K-pop band of the year, Extraordinary Heroes. Extraordinary Heroes continue to kill it. They're different, they're fun, and they've got some vocalists in that group. So if you still haven't given Extraordinary Heroes a chance, give them a chance. They're wonderful. My under the radar group, a group that not a lot of people talk about, but I think deserves more love, Boy Next Door. I know I talked about them last week when I kind of gave a review of the Melon Music Awards, the Mamas. Boy Next Door are really talented and they deserve a bigger push from their label. I like them and I'm definitely going to be talking about them more in 2024. So check them out. Music video of the year. This will be no surprise if you watch me talk about the Mama nominations because to me, when I think about a music video, I think about the artistry, the direction, the editing, the transitions, the sets, the performance, choreography, styling. Is there a story? What's the narrative? Everything about it. Is it exciting? The dancing, does it move you? Does it do something to you? And to me, I don't see how anyone can justify any other music video over S Class from Stray Kids. That is the best music video this year. That's my winner for the 2023 K-Pop Weekly Podcast Awards. It's so impressive. Stray Kids, what they do in their music videos, to me, is just like above and beyond what other groups are putting out. They're so cinematic. They create a cinematic universe in every single music video. And I don't know if it's appreciated enough what they're doing, but they're my winners this year. A song of the year. We're down to the big ones, guys. We're getting to the big awards are here. This one was hard for me. I want to be honest. This was very, very hard for me because although I love Stray Kids and I'm super impressed with everything they've done this year, I can't just give every award to Stray Kids because there's other great K-pop. And I am a multi and I am a music critic and I'm trying to be as objective as I can. So there were maybe 10 songs that I thought had a major impact in K-pop this year that I also personally loved. And the one that I decided was my song of the year, Super from 17. 17 is the other group that's at the top of the pyramid with Stray Kids. They're killing it. Very popular and they put out great material this year. Super is so intense. It's intense and it's fun and it has this like bravado and kind of vibe, high energy. I love my team. I love my crew. Teamwork in K-pop. There was just a feeling that that song gave me that felt like this is K-pop and this is why I love it. So Super is my song of the year. There's at least 9 other songs that could be, but I've got to give 17 their flowers. They've had a phenomenal year and they deserve the accolades they're receiving, including Song of the Year for me. Okay, let's get to it. Album of the year. Let's get to it. Album of the year. For me, this came down to 2 albums, 2 projects that I thought were the most exciting, really well done, no skips, the whole shebang. My album of the year, 5-star from Stray Kids. You have Hall of Fame, S Class, Item, Super Bowl, Top Line. Those are just the first 5 songs. This album is stacked. It's so powerful. It's confident. It's polished. But boy, is it still crazy. It's still in your face. It's still uniquely Stray Kids. They have stayed true to their identity while climbing the ranks of K-pop royalty. And now they're at the top and they've cemented it with this album. I thought it was so exciting and so fun. But when you start, Stray Kids have kind of a reputation for this. They don't only start their album strong, they keep it going. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And this one to me just it blew me away. I love Rockstar too. Trust me, this was very, very close. But those first 5 songs in S Class did it for me. Amazing album. Proud of Stray Kids. Huge year. Congratulations. And the last award, my 2023 K-Pop Weekly Podcast Award for Artist of the Year. Drum roll, please. No surprise, it's Stray Kids. I couldn't give it to anyone else. This was the year that transformed Stray Kids' career, not only in K-pop and in Korea, but globally and in world music and in pop music. What they've done in the United States, they're breaking records that even BTS didn't do on the Billboard 200. Stray Kids are it. Stray Kids are it. And it's definitely preference when it comes to music and when it comes to K-pop. We all have our favorite groups. We all have stuff that vibes with us and doesn't vibe with us. But I don't think you can count out Stray Kids' accomplishments this year and what it means for them, but also their influence on K-pop moving forward. They're it now. They're the most influential group, and they're the group that's taking us into this next phase. Massive changing of the guard is happening in K-pop right now. Obviously, BTS enlisted this week, and you have all of these third generation groups who were so strong. I don't think people give Monsta X the credit they deserve for how influential they've been in the world of K-pop the past 5 or 6 years. Monsta X, the music they put out was so good for so long and so consistently. And they inspired a whole generation of kind of beast idols. Credit to BTS for everything they've done. We almost can't say that enough because they have done so much. But when you have them and Monsta X enlisted and out of there, it's very interesting moving into this next chapter in K-pop, who the leaders will be and their influence. When I talk about why I think Stray Kids are so important, it's the influence. It's not they sell numbers and they have fans. It's what they're doing for K-pop in general, how they're influencing the next generation, and you hear it and you see it. And these other boy groups in their generation, even the girl groups, I don't see that much influence of theirs being rubbing off on the younger generation. Everyone's trying to be Stray Kids. Everyone wants to create noise music and act like Stray Kids. So they're it. Stray Kids are Artists of the Year. They're trailblazers. They deserve everything coming to them and more. 2023 was a game-changing year for those 8 guys. And I'm just so proud I got to witness it, be a part of it, be able to review their music on the show and talk to Stays and be part of this fandom. I love K-pop. And I love Stray Kids and I love original artists. So I will champion them. Trust me, since I've been doing a podcast, this is the first year for K-Pop Weekly. But prior to this, on New York City K-Pop Queens, we had the NKQ Awards for 3 years. Stray Kids didn't win Artist of the Year every year. I try to be very fair and balanced, but I think what they did this year is so exciting and they deserve all of it. There's so many good groups in K-pop. There's so much happening that's exciting. And it's a real transition period for those of us who have been fans longer than a couple years. This is a real transition period, and Stray Kids are leading the pack. Congratulations to all of our winners. Well deserved. If you don't agree with the winners, too bad. It's my show. No, I'm just kidding. So mean. But yeah, I'm doing this. These are my winners. This is my award show. This is who I think deserves it. Let's get into the best of. Let's get into what I thought was the best, because you can pick a song or a group, but that doesn't encompass the best music that came out this year. I do music reviews. I'm here to talk about the music. So let's talk about it. Let's talk about the music and what excited me and lit a flame under me this year in K-pop. These are my top 20 songs for 2023 in no particular order. No particular order. Here we go. Disclaimer, it was very hard to pick just 20, and I wanted to get a good mix of artists. So there are certain artists that I obviously loved more than just one song, but I didn't want my whole list to be just Stray Kids and EXO songs. These 20 songs are the ones I thought were the best of the best in 2023. Let's see if you agree with me on these. Super Shy by New Jeans. Everyone was singing it. We all know the choreography. New Jeans had a banger of a year. It was hard not to pick them for my female group of the year. Again, it was kind of the overall body of work. New Jeans maybe didn't release as much in the second half. Very excited to see what they do in 2024. Expectations are high. They were the queens this year. They killed it. Super Shy is my favorite. Let's stick with the girl groups. My next song, Giddy by Kepler. I struggled in picking Giddy or Galileo because I love both those songs so much. But that chorus of Giddy is so catchy. And I listened to that song so much this year. I love Kepler. Kepler is slept on. They're really, really good. They're my favorite kind of younger girl group. I think they're super talented. They put out good pop songs. They're fun to watch perform. And maybe they won me over because they did Mr. by Girls' Generation at KCON. I love Girls' Generation. Those are my queens. If I could ever be in a K-pop group, I would want to be in Girls' Generation because they have amazing music. They have a really full catalog of different styles. And let's be real, they're gorgeous. I love those women. So Kepler did a cover of Mr. and they were amazing. And I thought, oh yeah, this is a group that does Giddy. I'm so in. And they've followed up with Galileo, and they had a wonderful year. So Kepler get Giddy. My next song, Bouncy from ATEEZ. This was the comeback that I was waiting for from ATEEZ. This came out and it just took the K-pop world by storm. Talk about choreography. We all know that move. We all know the dance from Bouncy. And it just kind of encompassed who they are and what they do best. I think that this was really a great direction. Love the song. Killed it. My next best K-pop song of 2023, Let Me In, EXO. You know I have to put EXO on here. I was so excited for this comeback. And they actually gave us like 3 great singles. Cream Soda was the title track, but Hear Me Out was fantastic. And then we got Let Me In. We got a ballad that reminded everyone in K-pop who the vocal kings were, who the best vocal line ever is. And they just crushed it. Also, a very interesting music video. Loved this release. My next pick, Deep Down from T by T. This is a deep cut off their last comeback. That album was kind of a mixed bag for me, but Deep Down, I just love this song. I listen to it all the time. I think it's such a strong song. There were some really good songs on that comeback, but Deep Down is, I love it. I want more of this. They could go in that direction and kill it. My next song, Perfume, Do Jung, a subunit of NCT 127, Jaehyun, Doyoung, and Jungwoo. Ooh, like I mentioned, they were my subunit of the year. I don't think anyone expected it to be as good as it was. I knew a little bit because I know what those 3 members are capable of, but oh my God, did they knock it out of the park with this release? It was so sexy, so cool. Loved the music video, but we've got to talk about that choreography. And when Jaehyun comes in, yeah, that's me. That whole part, legend, legend. Favorite thing. That's like on my top list of my favorite things this year. I loved every single time he got on TikTok and everything else to do dance challenges. I loved it so much. Like Perfume, Doje Jung, amazing song. That whole album was amazing. I'm I'm forever a fan. Obviously, I'm a massive fan of NCT and they just knocked it out of the park. My next top song of 2023, Better Things by aespa. Oh my God. This song could have been my song of the year. I love this song. I really, really love this song. It is everything that the aespa girls have brought into this world. It is sassy. It is like I'm better than you. Get away from me. I've got better things to do with my time. There's some fun in there. There's some spunk and there's good vocals. I love this song. It's one of my most listened to songs of 2023. Amazing. Next song. Speaking of the NCT guys, I'm in like an SM thing here. NCT 127 gave us something different with this one. Angel Eyes. This whole release, I thought the Fact Check album was fantastic. Angel Eyes was so different. It was this like 80s nostalgic, um, 80s nostalgic song that the group Starship could have done way back in like 1985. It was so out of left field, but it was also beautiful and perfect. And I'll never forget that music video where they're on the roof. For all of us that love this group, we know things are coming to an end with them as well. BTS, Monsta X, NCT 127, Enlistment's going to start. And there was a feeling of real nostalgia with this song and with their performance and the way that they look at each other. It's a happy song, but there's some nostalgia here. There's some like movie soundtrack feel here. And I loved it. And I love that at this point in their career, the 127 guys keep giving us stuff that's unexpected. They keep pushing the boundaries and challenging themselves. So their team, their producers, their songwriters, kudos to you. Great song. My next song, it's from my artist of the year, La 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 from Stray Kids, one of the best songs of 2023. This release is perfect. It encompasses everything that Stray Kids are and what they bring to the table. It's aggressive, it's in your face, it's weird, it's different, and it's exciting. This song kills it. They knocked it out of the park. I was so excited with this comeback. One of my favorite songs of the year. My next song comes to us from one of SHINee's amazing vocalists. I'm talking about Good and Great from Key. This is one of those uplifting, put it on in the morning, or when you just need like a little spunk, a little pep in your step. It's such a happy song. It's such a vibe. I love what Key brings to the table. He's such a unique artist in the realm of K-pop. And this release was fantastic. I'm usually a fan of everything he does, but this one really just brought a level of joy and happiness that I think was really needed in K-pop this year. The music video is great too. So check that out if you haven't watched it. My next favorite song from 2023, In Bloom, Zero Base One. Zero Base One killed it this year. They came on the scene after being put together on a reality show and came out with such a banger, such a hit. I love this song. I talk about good, happy, positivity, feeling good. I love In Bloom. It's really, really just a classic K-pop song that was executed really well and great choreography. Very memorable choreography. That seems, now that I'm talking about all these songs, that seems to be a theme with me. The ones where I really remember the choreography like stick with me like glue. And I'll never forget seeing them do it at KCON and going, whoa, whoa. I'm not gonna, I mean, that's not what they looked like, obviously. But it was a really, really fun release. And I'm a massive fan of theirs. ZB1 is amazing. They've had two great releases this year. Their B-sides are strong. Melting Point is one of my favorite songs. So that's definitely on there. In Bloom was phenomenal, but we've got to talk about my rookie of the years that edged out ZB1, Rise. Rise had a lot of single releases that were really strong and powerful and that people loved. I think the one that I'm picking here may not be the most popular, but to me, it is my favorite, Memories from Rise. It's so different. You know, there's a lot of talk about what they need to do with their sound to differentiate themselves from NCT and from that sound. And I think songs like Get a Guitar and Memories do a wonderful job at that. And I just liked this. I just thought it was very fresh and young sounding and fun. My next song, this is one you may not have heard of. I will probably talk about it next week on things I missed or kind of under the radar groups I want you all to check out. It's Love Effect from ONF. Again, talk about a happy, uplifting song. Wonderful chorus, really memorable chorus. And there's some jazzy piano and jazzy stuff in here that's interesting. It made me go, oh, wait a minute. Okay, these guys came to play. I love this song. One of my favorites. Moving on. It can't be a best of 2023 K-pop release without talking about some of these BTS boys. On the Street, J-Hope featuring J. Cole. I'm a massive hip hop fan. Most of you guys know this. And this release with J. Cole, it just felt like J-Hope got to the level he wanted, getting to collab with one of his heroes and getting that respect and that mutual respect between them. I loved the music. I also really, really, really liked their verses. And I thought J. Cole's verse in particular was inspiring and just so well done. This was a perfect send off for J Hope. This is right before he enlisted. A little bit different from what we got last year with his solo debut, but still so, so good. He's a phenomenal solo artist. I hope we get more solo stuff when he returns from the military. My next song on my favorite songs of 2023, we're sticking with BTS. It's Standing Next to You, Jungkook. Oh, this song was everything. If you listen to the show, watch the show, you heard my review of the album. I was blown away by this. I think this song is perfect for him. It's who he should be as a solo artist. Great, great vocals. There's some challenges here in the melody. The structure around the chorus is different, it's exciting. And he just floated through it like it was nothing. It was just a walk in the park for Jungkook to hit those notes and to deliver that. That's very, very difficult. And we've seen him do it now multiple times live. This isn't like studio tricks. The dude can sing. And it's just cool. It's just cool. This is like old school Michael Jackson. This is cool. I love the song. The remix he did with Usher, fantastic. I was saying last week, I was shocked they didn't do a music video because how dope would that be? We're getting a music video this week. It drops the day this podcast drops on Friday. Looking forward to that. The song is a classic. Congratulations to Jungkook for everything he accomplished this year. Okay, my next song, I forgot how to pronounce it. I'm awful at pronunciation anyways. This should not be a shock to anyone. But it comes from Billy. I love Billy. And the song was called Unoia, Eunoia. I'm not sure how you pronounce it, but I swear it's an amazing song. Billy is one of my favorite artists. They were my under the radar artists last year. I love them. I'm rooting hard for them. And I thought this release was so, so good. This was earlier in 2023. It's a song worth checking out if you haven't. My next favorite song this year, it's Shalalala from Taeyong. I loved Taeyong's solo debut. I thought it was very specifically him. They captured the essence of him. And this song was so cool. That like vocal fry, that lay low, lay low, lay low, baby keep it low key at the beginning. It's so cool. I really, really, really liked this release. And more importantly, it wasn't just this song. That whole EP was good. I'm listening to that Ruby song like every day. Loved it. Taeyong is such a talent. His debut was fantastic. My next song, it was my song of the year. It's Super from 17. This song had everything that a good K-pop song should have. It had rap, vocals, a crazy intense beat, a build, and teamwork. Teamwork. They executed it perfectly. With 13 members, it can be hard for everyone to get aligned and for everyone to get a part and for everyone to be involved. They killed it. Super was just such a powerful song. And for me, it stood out because 17, they're kind of one of these groups that can do everything. But I usually kind of put them in like the theater kid category. I don't think of them as super in your face, powerful, driving rap music. And they did it with the song Super. They showed me like, no, 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 we can do this too. And we can actually do it better than most of these other groups. They killed it. My next song, no surprise. I wasn't going to leave this one off the list. It's Taemin. It's Guilty. Sorry, for those of you that are just listening and not watching, I just did the weirdest thing, grabbing my neck. You all know, if you know the choreography, what I was doing. It's been a long week. Taemin came back. He reminded everyone why he's the king. This song is so guilty. It's sexy, but still like subtle. You know, he does that thing where it's the constant tension bubbling under the surface instead of the totally in your face. And granted, the choreography was a little more sexy than we're used to in K-pop, but still, Taemin can go way farther. The song was really cool. And to think it like sat on the shelf for years. This was Taemin's had this song since before he enlisted. So I love that they came out and they're like, you know what? What about that other song that we left off last time? Let's make that the single. Knocked it out of the park. It's quintessential Taemin, and I thought it was really, really well done. And my last song, I've got to include the Queen's Red Velvet. Their last album was so strong, although I didn't love the single. I thought a lot of the B-sides were good. And this is a B-side. This is a B-side, Will I Ever See You Again? It has all the elements of a song that I love. It's dramatic, it's intense, a little bit sad, and most importantly, the vocal queens slay like they always do. I love Red Velvet and I really liked this song. There's so many good releases this year. This was a good year for K-pop. And again, an interesting year. We're in a transition period. So the young kids are coming up and starting to set the tone, and the older groups are taking breaks, and we're going to get some subunit stuff and everything else. It's an interesting year. When I sat down to compile my list, I was like, I don't know. I think like maybe a couple years ago that was like the best. And then I go to make my list, and it was so hard to get to 20 songs. It was so hard to get 20 songs. Again, I'll probably regret this choice tomorrow and think, oh my God, how did I forget this song? But I wanted to give kind of a list of different groups, different styles, different tones, different feels that I thought were the best this year and that deserve their flowers. Also putting in some B-sides or maybe some groups you're not as familiar with. So those were my favorite songs. But what were my favorite albums? I narrowed my albums down to 5. I've got to be real with you. There weren't that many full albums this year. And I kind of decided I wanted to do the longer albums, not a 5-song EP, a full album. I'm old school. I prefer a full album. So that was kind of my criteria going into this. Here are my top 5 K-pop albums from 2023. No surprise, it won Album of the Year in my awards earlier in the episode. 5-star from Stray Kids. My next album, Unforgiven from La Seraphim. It had like all of their previous good songs they put on this album. So you had Blue Flame and Fearless, but then you have new songs like Unforgiven, Eve, Psyche, and Bluebeard. All of these great new songs. Again, it kind of got me thinking their catalog is impressive and they keep coming out with bangers. This album was fantastic. It's like it encompasses everything that they are, all of the different sounds they can do, the energy that they bring into the room. Awesome album. My next album, I just reviewed this one last week. It's the World Ep Fin Will from ATEEZ. I was blown away by this album. It's probably my favorite thing that they've done. I think it's so, so strong from beginning to end. It tells a story. We've got great subunit songs. The title track was fantastic. Massive, massive fan. Hit after hit after hit. My next album, this is a little bit of a deep cut, but I reviewed it on the show. It's called Narcissist from Dawn. This is so, so good. This was a no skip album for me, and this is one that I keep going back to and listening to. I love Dawn. He's way too slept on for his level of talent. I mean, this album had Heart, which was one of my favorite songs. Like I wanted to put that song on my favorite list, but because the overall album was my favorite, I kept it off. Something similar happened with La Seraphim, just to let you know. But Dawn had like Heart and that Falling song with PH1 that I'm obsessed with. I Don't, Star. I mean, this was just a great album. Really fantastic album. Slept on. Check it out. And then my last album, it's Fact Check from NCT 127. Really solid album. Fact Check is a great song. Space, Angel Eyes, Misty. They gave us so many different feels, but it all felt cohesive and it all felt like signature NCT 127. They've put out great stuff this year. They're so, so talented. I had to include them. Amazing work. Congratulations to 127. Honorable mention now, DPR Ian. I loved what DPR Ian did this year. I think he's a visionary. It also gets into this thing where I'm like, well, is this K-pop or not? Because I don't consider DPR Ian K-pop, but he came from a K-pop group originally. So did Dawn. I decided, it's close, but I think I'll put Dawn in ahead of DPR Ian. But DPR Ian's album was one of my favorites this year as well. So shout out to him and his whole team. A lot of good stuff in 2023. It's hard to narrow them down, but it's fun to make these lists and kind of relive the year in K-pop and think about all the amazing music I've had the chance to cover and review. So that's my best of 2023. Congratulations to all of the groups. I want to give a massive shout out to everyone that I just mentioned, everyone behind the scenes, everyone out there, creating something and putting it out there for public consumption takes courage. That takes bravery that a lot of people don't have. A lot of people like to sit back and judge and critique and, hate on other people's finished products when they have never had the guts to put something out there themselves. So, this is all very my opinion. I listen to music enough. I come from music enough that I think I have a pretty educated opinion on what's good or bad. But that said, these are all opinions. We all have different taste. And who cares if I don't like something? That person put it out and worked their butt off on it. And there were so many people in the studio composing and mixing and producing that work, and everyone behind the scenes to get the release out there for public consumption. It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, everyone's opinions are opinions. I geek out on this stuff and I want to share my love and my joy of music with all of you listening and watching. But I just want to make that clear that, like, if you put out a release this year, you're winning. If you put your soul into a piece of art for the public view, you're winning. Putting yourself out there is hard and scary. So, congratulations to every K-pop act in 2023, because without you, I wouldn't be doing this. I wouldn't be here talking and connecting with humans from all over the world over our shared love of music. Music is so freaking powerful. It is so powerful. It's the universal language. I will say that to the day I die. The way we connect through music is profound, and everyone creating it is doing a service to humanity, putting it out into the world. Thank you. Thank you to everyone. Let's move on to some K-pop news. A busy week in K-pop per usual. It never stops. First off, I want to give a massive congratulations to ATEEZ. I didn't want to jinx them last week when I did my review, but from the early numbers I saw, it looked like they were going to debut at number 1 on the Billboard 200. They did with 152,000 units. That's their first ever number 1 on the Billboard 200. Congratulations. So deserved. I think it's very exciting to see a group that's not from one of the big 4 debut at number 1. That's a massive accomplishment, and yeah, well deserved. I love to see disruptors, people that are going about it a different way, people that have to have different strategies because they don't have the advantage going in succeed. Congratulations to ATEEZ. Ricky from ZB1 can't perform at the Asia Artist Awards this week in the Philippines because of visa and passport issues. So it's something that happens, but it's also something that's so avoidable that I'm always like, really? Like your label didn't take care of this for you? Huey from Pentagon is releasing a solo album in January. He's an amazing vocalist. Looking forward to that. In kind of sad news, Sehun from EXO, the baby of EXO, he's enlisting on December 21st. The last member to enlist. That means EXO will all be back together in 2025. Woods also announced his enlistment. Woods is going January 22nd. Sunu from The Boys was hospitalized. If you'll remember, a couple weeks ago, they announced that he had neuralgia and neuritis, which is like nerve pain. I believe it's nerve pain in your neck, really, really bad pain. And he had to be hospitalized for it this week. So part of me is like, well, maybe he shouldn't have been doing any comeback stuff. Um, I hope he's okay. Surprise, surprise news. G Dragon has been cleared of all drug use allegations. I hate to say I told you so, but obviously this was kind of a witch hunt. This was a setup. The timing of it felt so suspicious to me. Um, in any case, I'm happy for him and happy for his fans and everyone that we can just move on. But it sucks that he had to go through that. And BTS enlisted. I think most of us know. I talked about it last week. It's obviously massive news in the K-pop world. All 7 members of BTS are currently in the military. Namjoon, V, Jimin, and Jungkook went in this week. The other members who are currently serving, Suga, Jin, and J-Hope, came to the location where Namjoon and Tae enlisted, and they took like a group picture and kind of sent them off. Very, very emotional. Spring Day was the number one song on iTunes in the US that day. And I don't know if it was like an effort that all the BTS fans decided to play it. I'm not really up on like what's going on with Army, but I played that all day. That's a really emotional song. That's my favorite BTS song of all time. And I was listening to it. I was very, very emotional. So I want to send some love to all of the Army watching and listening. Your feelings are valid. This is a giant loss. BTS aren't my all-time favorite K-pop group, but they're up there. And I got into this because of BTS. They were my gateway drug into the world of K-pop, and I loved them, and I was so passionate about them. And because I love other groups doesn't mean I don't still love BTS. I do, and they're in my top 5 all-time K-pop groups. So this was hard. The enlistment just felt so, so sad. And I had this feeling like it's really over. And I know it's not over, it's a year and a half. I'm not trying to be dramatic, but I think for a lot of people, and definitely for Army, but for any of us that are really obsessed with these K pop groups and really passionate about them, when they enlist, it's like this group that you felt so connected to for so long. These people that you wake up and check if they posted anything and see what they're doing and watch reality shows and watch all these different videos. They're part of your life, they become a part of your life. And I understand the argument for parasocial relationships and why it's not healthy. There's so much here to discuss and break down. But I just want to say for people that are hurting, for people that were sad this week, your feelings are valid. I was right there with you. I was a mess. On Sunday night, I was crying a lot. Like I was a mess. I was shocked at how heavy this hit me. And on Monday, I felt so, so sad. I would liken it to like a breakup, you know? It felt like all of those good memories and all those happy times are really over. And it's sad. It's sad. And what BTS has meant to so many people. Again, what these groups mean, what EXO has meant to people, what Monsta X has meant to people, what Stray Kids means to people. You can't overstate it enough. It's not, I'm a fan of this. It's for a lot of people, it's their whole life. And it's what gets you through the hard times. It's what gets you up in the morning sometimes when you're a K-pop fan and when you're passionately part of a fan base and you care about a group and the individuals so much. This is real emotion. This is real stuff for so many of us. So I just want to give so much love to all of you and let you know that I'm there with you. This was harder than I was expecting. And I've watched my alts enlist. I mean, I did have a total breakdown when Bacon enlisted, but there's something about all of BTS being gone. It's this finality. For me, it was the nostalgia. It was, I got into this and I became obsessed with this, and my whole world changed. My whole life changed in almost every aspect. My whole life changed when I found BTS. Everything in my life is different now, and I wouldn't be where I am right now. I wouldn't be in LA. I wouldn't have the friends I have. I wouldn't have this show. I wouldn't have, my life would be drastically different had I not seen BTS at the American Music Awards in 2017. And then it got me thinking about all the concerts and those memories and just the pure happiness that comes from being at a K-pop concert surrounded by other people who are like you, who don't think you're weird because you're obsessed with this group and maybe you don't speak the language. There was something years ago before it really broke in America where I was embarrassed to tell people I was a K-pop fan, where I didn't tweet about K-pop on my Twitter or post anything on my Instagram. I didn't want to be made fun of or have people think I was weird. Now it's so accepted and it's such a global thing. It's not weird. I'm proud to tell people I have a K-pop podcast and this is what I do and this is what I love. But there was something in those early days of being in a stadium and being in a room with other people who felt like you that was so special. It's this feeling of wanting to be included. It's a feeling of wanting to belong. And K-pop has given that to so many of us. And for so many of us, it started with BTS. And I will never forget my first BTS concert. I will never forget my last BTS concert. And both of those were with my old partner, Charity. And there were so many wonderful memories with her and stuff we talked about on our old podcast. And it just, the flood of emotion came up during BTS's enlistment. I can't overstate what BTS means to me, and I can't overstate what K-pop means to me. I'm sure a lot of you feel the same way. And I'm so grateful for them and for the music and for the feeling that they gave me. And they kind of lit up my life again and gave me so much to be excited for and look forward to. And then my world kept getting brighter and brighter and brighter and brighter. I love K-pop. I don't just kind of love it. This isn't just a phase for me. This changed my life. And I will love BTS till the day I die. And I hold them at a special place in my heart. But God, that feeling of nostalgia, I think that's one of the most painful feelings. I hate nostalgia. I hate that feeling can be so painful. And I'm like super sensitive. Hello, I cry on the podcast like every week. So yeah, this was a dark week. This was a dark week. Sending love to Army, wishing all of BTS a safe enlistment. I'm very worried about Tae in special forces. I hope he's okay. I hope they're all okay. Sending a lot of love and a lot of love to Army tonight. That's it. That's all I have for you this week. I hope you enjoyed my best of, my lists. I will be back next week and I'm going to talk about what I missed and what you should be listening to and some music that I think deserves to be talked about. So hopefully you join me next week. I know it's busy. I know it's the holiday season. This is a great way to take a break and vibe with K-pop. So thank you so much for being here. I'm so grateful for all of you. I'm happy I get to talk about this and I'm happy we have a community. If you've commented on a video and I haven't responded, please no offense. A lot of times if someone leaves a really thoughtful comment, I want to make sure I respond with the same energy. So I don't want to do a quick response. This show, it takes up a lot of time. And there's a lot of work that goes into this every week and the videos that I'm putting out and what I'm doing behind the scenes. So I'm figuring out my schedule and how to make this all work. But I just want to let you know, I read your comments, I see everything, and I'm very, very grateful. And I will be responding and getting back to people in the next few weeks and in the new year as I have a chance to exhale. But next week, it's what I missed. I'm going to be right back here next week. Don't worry. I can't wait to talk to you. I hope you're all having a great holiday season and that you're staying safe and healthy. And I'm just sending you all so much love and light. Thank you for being here with me. Thank you for celebrating K-pop with me. I love this world and I'm grateful to be a part of it. Have a great weekend. Bye.